Hello and welcome to another episode of the Uranium Market Minute. My name is Justin Hune. I'm your host. I'm the founder and publisher of the Uranium Insider Pro newsletter, the only investing newsletter that focuses solely on uranium and publishes on a regular monthly basis. Thanks so much for tuning in. Before we get into it, nothing in this video is intended to be investing advice. I am not your financial advisor, and this is not financial advice. Please always do your own due diligence when it comes to investing, and always take responsibility for your own actions. With that said, let's jump right into the daily scoreboard. Today, the spot price of uranium moving down a few pennies here to $47.50 a pound mid-market. It looks like, generally speaking, not only for the spot market, but the equities, we are in stasis, moving sideways here. Yesterday, the SPUT Physical Uranium Trust took in only 2.9 million in fresh capital. However, they did buy an additional 300,000 pounds of uranium. That knowing that they bought 1.75 million the previous week, that's just about an average of 300,000 pounds per day, a little bit more than that. So as long as they keep up this rate, we're in business here. They started the day with 38.1 million in the treasury, so it's possible they're back in the market buying more pounds. However, they did end yesterday's trading at a 1% discount to their net asset value, meaning at least as of the open this morning, they were not at a sufficient premium to their to NAV to be able to issue shares in the market and raise more cash. However, with that 38 million in the treasury, it's possible they did some purchasing. Since August 17th, the start of their ATM, they've raised $745.1 million and have purchased just over 16.4 million pounds of uranium. Turning to the ETFs again, in this theme of stasis, both URA and URNM reported no change in outstanding shares. The combined AUM of the two ETFs still sits at just over 2.3 billion. And again, this reporting has a bit of a lag, so that kind of shows you what has already happened, but it's important to understand. Let's take a look at the charts. Beginning with URA again, still chopping sideways, opened up, started to sell off, sold off quite a bit, but saw some dip buying come in. Overall, looking pretty constructive. U.UN, the SPUT Physical Uranium Trust, had a pretty big down day. So considering that SPUT only fell by about 25 cents, however, the trust is down pretty big. We are likely at another significant discount to NAV here. Let's see if how this has played out in the past continues to play out at the rare opportunity for this trust to trade at a discount to NAV, to see if some speculators come in and play some arbitrage on this, see if we can get that back up to a premium to NAV. So we're probably more like a 2 to 3% discount to NAV, I would assume, at this stage. Take a look at Cameco. Cameco with a pretty nice green day, a nice looking hammer, testing those recent highs. Very constructive looking chart. Volumes continue to kind of slip down as they are with the ETFs. Looking back at URA, just to take a look at the volumes continue to be lower than they were during those big up moves, which is perfectly normal. All in all, looking pretty constructive. URNM looking like it's possibly doing a little bit of a bull flag here. Will be interesting to see how that plays out. Jumping into the mailbag, see if we have a question here. Justin, has SPUT altered their purchasing strategy of late? Great question. It does seem that they have altered their strategy a bit, right? So, and to the extent that they're able. So they basically have set up this trust that allows for investing capital to come into the trust. And as long as they're trading at that 1% or greater premium to NAV, then they're issuing shares and buying physical uranium. Seems like lately they've been more on this slow and steady strategy. And I actually think that there's a few reasons for that. One, I think that even SPUT was shocked how much of a splash they made in the sector during those first 4 weeks, buying over 10 million pounds of uranium in just 1 month's time. They did not expect, in my opinion, neither did we, that only 10 million pounds of uranium would move the price 60%. That's really, that it really blew them away, it blew us away, blew everybody away. We knew that SPUT was going to be a big player in the space as soon as that announcement was made back in April. However, nobody expected that type of move off of only that much volume. So I think that what the strategy here is for them to continue to scrape away at available inventory in the spot market. And so, and it's also possible they're going a little bit further out on the curve. So that first month they were looking at 30-day settlement. It's possible they're pushing out to the 60-day settlement to see if they can drum up a little bit more material. I don't think that they want to violently squeeze this market in the way that happened in those first 4 weeks. And one of those reasons is that they do, and they are continuing to seek that New York Stock Exchange listing. So the implications, obviously, of acquiring that listing are huge. The New York Stock Exchange is about 13 times the size of the TSX in terms of money flow. And liquidity is just so much greater. Now, do they need the NYSE listing? No, they don't. Look at what they've been able to do with the TSX, right? And US investors have found their way onto the TSX perfectly fine, especially with the U.U US dollar denominated vehicle for the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. So, but I do believe that this is their path forward, at least for now, is to continue to slowly accumulate and maintain some cash in the bank. It seemed for that first 4 weeks that as the cash came in, they were blowing through that cash by buying physical, taking it down, down almost to zero, re-upping the next day, rinse and repeat. Now it seems like when they're at a premium to NAV, they're raising a good chunk of cash, but they're not necessarily spending it all the next day, right? They're maintaining a little bit of a buffer there and not coming in heavy into the spot market. And I think that is a much, much more intelligent, longer term strategy. And of course, coming into this sector as an investor, it's important to have a long-term outlook here and not be speculatively trading around perceived catalysts that you expect to happen in the short term. That's been a killer to many a uranium speculator over the past number of years, trying to trade around events, trying to trade around the Russian suspension agreement, trying to trade around the Section 232 petition, etc. These things are not really tradable events, in my opinion. However, the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust trading at a discount to NAV is a tradable event, in my opinion. You can buy that thing at a 3-4% discount, hang on to it, assuming not much of a move in the spot price. When we end up at a multiple percent premium to NAV, you've made a quick 6-7%. Nothing to shake a stick at, especially if it's a sizable position for an institution. So in my opinion, this is a really intelligent way for Sprott to operate. And also, it seems to me that Sprott may look a little bit more acceptable and less threatening to the sector by acting in this manner. And that's important going forward for a number of reasons. A, Sprott will face, or the New York Stock Exchange listing potential will face a 4-week public comment period for the SEC during the process of applying for that listing. And so it's important that they are not seen as a huge threat to the sector in order for them to get that listing. With that said, it's not necessary for them to get the listings, judging by the types of volumes that we've been able to see through the TSX. The other reason is that I think that it's a healthier environment for the sector, for utilities to be able to recognize, okay, there is this buyer, and we don't have to act in a panic currently because A, we're probably covered for the next 2 to 3 years, and B, they're not pushing the spot price up by multiple dollars per day here. There's just this new buyer in here, which has to be reckoned with, right? This buyer, this annualized, is buying 40, 50, 60 million pounds of uranium per year. That's something that really these utilities really need to pay attention to. So I like what they're doing here. This is something I think is very constructive for Sprott. It's very constructive for the sector. I do believe we still are going to see higher spot prices this year. We're going to go above that $52 a pound. That was the reversal point from the previous rally. And I still think we see a strong seasonal move here. This consolidation in the sector, it's important that we have some backing and filling whenever we have big moves. And so the longer the base, the faster and the stronger the rise, right? So if these stocks make bull flags, if they consolidate sideways, totally fine. This is looking very, very constructive with this setup, and I'm very pleased to see how Sprott is operating currently and with such fantastic transparency. I'd like to remind everybody that if you are a member and you were not able to attend the webinar last week, where Sprott CEO John Ciampaglia was able to join us and go deep into the weeds on their operations and what he's seeing in the spot market currently. That is up on our website for members to view. If you are not a member and you'd like to join, that is something you can view immediately upon subscribing. It's a 2-hour long webinar with myself and my partner, where we go through not only all of our stock recommendations and what we're seeing in the sector, but we have that 30 minutes upfront interview with John Ciampaglia that's fantastic, has really good information. And so if you're interested in joining and you'd like to get a sample newsletter, go ahead and send us an email, support@uraniuminsider.com. We will send you a previous month's newsletter. You can get an idea about the content that we put out, and feel free to ask us any questions about our service as well. Thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate you guys. If you like this content, please like this video, join our channel, hit subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You will be notified whenever we put out an episode, which is just about every day. I will not be around on Thursday this week, but we will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Appreciate all the support. Have a great night.